Alright, so we got ShutteR, who also streams from his perspective. Hang on. Looks like we're having some lag. It's not on my end, though. Switch. Ah, can't type fast enough. And of course, you guys. Okay, cool. So it looks like the ShutteR guy. I don't know too much about him, other than the fact that he apparently streams, and I know he's on the stream right now. So I hope you muted the actual stream here, because like I said, I'm going to be casting. So if ShutteR, if you're hearing me speak right now, just pause the game and mute the stream. That'd be fantastic. But in the bottom right here, playing as the Black Zerg, he is of course Masters League 34 and 20 right now. In Oz mode, he is Ace. He's also a mod on my channel because he's a super mega ultra baller, and he's been around for a long time. So over here in the top left, apparently word on the street right now is that this guy is actually Grandmaster, 42 and 5. I absolutely believe that. He's got a 90% win ratio in OBS. That is ridiculous. It is ShutteR. And we are getting a little bit of stutter, but I don't think that that is actually my computer for the first time in a long time, because I'm not actually dropping any frames, and all of my numbers look good. So it's probably someone else in game having a couple of problems here. But if Ace is actually going to be able to peel off a game here from ShutteR, that would be very, very impressive. Of course, Ace is a Masters League player. He recently got placed back into Masters, if I recall correctly. Getting a couple of mineral losses there. I accidentally misclicked on a mineral patch. But he is a Masters League player, and he is quite good. But like I said, ShutteR, Grandmasters, 90% win ratio. Pretty outrageous. We'll see what he's got in store. This will be ZVZ, and at the higher levels of ZVZ, it's such a razor-thin matchup. We actually saw a hatch first from ShutteR. He's going to follow that up with a spawning pool and an extract right after that, but quite a ballsy play here. Very... Ooh, let's see. That's not on my end. Excellent. But yeah, like I said, very ballsy play. Very economic, very greedy, and honestly, it's going to be scouted. Ace is going to scout it now, and he's going to see the timing on that. He's going to notice the health and know exactly when it comes down and everything like that. And he, of course, has already got a spawning pool. He's getting speed already, and he may end up try to punish this early expansion here, and we'll see if he's going to be able to actually do that or not. Of course, if he doesn't expand, there's the expansion going to be coming down for Ace, but you can see this expansion is coming down just as ShutteR's is finishing up, so he will be behind economically. And even though we won't really see a big difference in the drone count for quite a while, the biggest difference really is going to be how much earlier he's getting all of those larvae from the earlier base. You have to keep in mind that larva is also a resource for Zerg, even though it's a little bit harder to track. So, and ShutteR streams and apparently posts on Reddit. He is Grandmaster, and he posted that pic of Dustin Browder. I'm not sure if I saw that pic, but I'm sure it was hilarious. But man, we are still getting quite a lot of lag. I'm just happy it's not my computer, which is fantastic news, in my opinion. We do have ShutteR. He's got some defensive wings over here, so it looks like Ace was not really able to do anything in order to punish this early expansion yet. Now, keep in mind, his tech will be a little bit ahead here. He does have the Baneling Nest about halfway done, as well as getting that gas already. Speed is already done as well for all of his lings, and we can see here that ShutteR's speed only about halfway done. He is getting full gas. He's got 3 harvesters in there right now, and there's the Baneling that's coming up for ShutteR. But Ace going to be able to snag the majority of the information in terms of scouting anyways. At this base anyway, he'll see the Baneling Nest, he'll see the Spine Crawler and the Queen count, as well as the drone count that's already there. Gives him a little bit more information. So always okay to sacrifice a ling or two for scouting information like that, just because they're so very cheap. But if you, of course, if you do that every minute or so, you will end up falling behind in that unit's lost tab. But sparingly is the best way there. Of course, Overlords no longer going to really be able to scout as these Queens finish up, and are going to be able to shoot them down with their little Queen darts. You're going to see some more gas coming down here for ShutteR. And guys, if you're just now tuning into the stream, this is actually a Master versus Grandmaster game. Ace being Masters, ShutteR being Grandmasters, and it's a ZVZ, so it should be Very, very intense on the wire game here. I'm very, very excited to watch it. Ace also going to be getting up his gas. And we see both of these guys having layer tech coming out at almost exactly the same time. 3 gases going down for Ace. And I believe, have all of the gases gone down yet for ShutteR? No, only 2. So only 2 gases on and layer tech for ShutteR. Let's go ahead and take a look at the income here. We can see ShutteR managing to edge Ace out just a little bit in both Vespene and Minerals. Of course, Ace going to be shooting up in that Vespene as soon as all those geysers that he just tried down finish. And now we're going to see our first beginnings of deviation here as soon as these layers finish. Here comes the Roach Warren now for ShutteR. I'm pretty sure there's no Roach Warren yet. Just the Evolution Chamber coming down right now for Ace. Of course, Evolution Chamber is coming down for both players. And we're about to figure out who's this lag's coming from. It's Red. Who is Red? I'm not sure. Is that me? Oh shit. Now why would I be lagging is the question. Let me make sure, let me pull up my, oops, that's not what I meant to put. Pull up my processors really quick. Oh shit, we got a battle. That's just gonna have to wait. Hopefully there won't be any more lag. But it looks like Ace got some banelings up now. He's gonna be using these to defend here against ShutteR, but ShutteR's got a couple of banelings of his own. Now, 3 banelings, or 2 banelings will kill a baneling. So any combination of 2 banelings hitting each other will kill each other. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, trying to posture up these, but ShutteR managing to emerge with a couple more banelings. Ace doing a good job to take them all out though, and ShutteR, oh, this is going to be some razor thin battles here. Sorry about the lag. Apparently I am lagging just a smidgen here, and it's on the frame rate side as opposed to the internet side, which is a little bit strange and uncharacteristic. So maybe I need to check at some point and make sure I don't have a million background processes running, eating up all my memory. Chrome is taking up a lot of memory, so I might actually need to cut my Chrome off and then pull it back up here in just a second. Of course, I won't interrupt the stream or anything, but that Ling actually going to be catching some sweet information about the Spire timing, and ShutteR going to be pulling this Overseer back in here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut my Chrome off, guys, and I'll be right back. So if you're chatting, I'm not going to see you for just a second, but that should free up some CPU. Pull Chrome back up in the background now that it should be refreshed. Shouldn't be so memory hungry here. So, sorry guys, don't want to know what the problems there on the internet side are coming for, but let me get back into the cast. Ace now, going to be getting some mutas out, going to be able to do a little bit of harassment here, but we've already got Spore Crawlers on every single one of our bases here from ShutteR, and that's because, of course, he already scouted pretty much all of the timing. Ooh, I'm continuing to lag. I just don't know why. I just don't know. But ShutteR's Ling's going to get taken down here. And Ace has to reveal the mutas on the field, and of course ShutteR already knows that. Actually going to be snagging an Overlord there as well. Just a bit. Trying to figure out why. But yeah, like I said, for some reason I'm having some slight problems in terms of my processor, but I'm not really sure why. So it looks like Ace here has got up about 9 meters or so. Now these are going to be pretty dangerous if ShutteR does not really prepare absolutely for them. He is trying to get up a hatchery of his own. It was, of course, scouted the timing on that. ShutteR keeping an eye on everything that's really been going on this game. And man, I am still lagging, and I'm unsure why, but ShutteR is going to lose a couple of queens here. These mutas doing a great job to stay out of the range of these Spore Crawlers. It looks like they're trying to poke down that infestation pit, but with 4 queens on the map here, I just don't think they're going to be able to really make that happen. And guys, sorry I haven't actually pulled up the stream chat again. So if you're in the chat, if you're new, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying the casting. But this queen is going to go down. So Ace been able to take out quite a few queens here. Been able to take out a little bit of the economy. But if we take a look here at the workers killed, only 2 workers killed. However, this base is about to get gutted just a little bit. Now we've got quite a few queens out now. I'm not quite sure if we can take out this number of queens with transfuses. Going to be pretty strong here. Of course, queens doing 7 damage a pop here. And I believe they get 2 attacks. No, it's just 1 attack for the air. 2 attacks on the ground. Infestor's now out on the field. However, for ShutteR, it's going to be very, very strong against these mutas. Of course, Infestor's a great counter to the mutas if you can get something underneath them to shoot up. And it looks like all of these roaches and lings that ShutteR has sent out across the field may get cleaned up by Ace. So I'm not really sure where we're standing. Let's take a look at the income right now. Close to even. Ace actually still a little bit behind, of course. The third came up much earlier for ShutteR than it did for Ace. We've got skirmishes all over the map. This army trying to run home from these mutas. Ace doing a good job to chase them down. got some Lings coming into the main, or to the third here. Possibly going to take out a Queen. I don't think so. No, it will not. But I think he was able to take out a few more drones. So yes, he is up to 11 workers killed now. And continuing to mass muta is going to force a cancel over here. Ooh, just barely got that cancel out. And that will give ShutteR some of those resources back. Of course, those are not free. And he will lose a few of those minerals, about 75 or 85. My memory serves. Ace going to get a couple of overseers in here, try to continue to do some scouting. So I feel like Ace has been doing a great job to keep on the offensive all game long, and I really think that it's going to do well. It's going to do well for him in the income and everything. You can actually see here that he's managing to scrape out a little bit of an advantage now. Still having a little bit of lag issues. Sorry about that, guys, but we see Army Supply and Worker Supply relatively even, not really favoring one way or the other. Of course, we just have to keep in mind that ShutteR is indeed Grand Master. And, well, let's have to see what tricks he got under his sleeve from that. Ace going to just kind of poke in here and see what kind of defenses we're looking at in the main, decides against it. A little bit risky. Ooh, needs to be very, very careful about these infestors. Going to take a small group of mutas in, and then I think just try to drain the energy on these guys. Look at this, actually splitting up all of these groups of mutas so that the infestors really can't bundle all of them at once. Great job by Ace. And Siege going to go ahead and step out here. Wasn't able to kill any of those infestors. Some transfuses coming down on them in order to keep them alive. And actually, look at this infestor coming in from ShutteR, and he's actually going to be killing a ton of drones here at the base. Well, it looks like Ace actually, I might have spoken a little too soon, Ace able to pull back most of the drones. However, he may lose his hatchery here. I don't really see anything for Ace that he can defend with this with. And even though all these guys are about to die, yes, the hatchery will go down, living just long enough to get that hatchery. So that's going to be a great victory there for ShutteR. Just some burrowed infestors doing work here, and he's even managed to get them into the base. And so we'll just see how these, that's just the 4 infestor hit squad, of course, going to be doing some damage here. It's me, but hang on. We'll leave that for after the game here. Work on all of the lagging problems in just a little bit. I should not be running. I've got plenty of RAM. I've got plenty of CPU power, so I don't know where the lag is coming from. I feel like something is interfering. But we've got a couple more harassment. We've got some Hydras coming up for ShutteR. He's already got +2. And actually, no, it's Demon. So, looks like Demon may have indeed been the one lagging. So all this time I thought it was me, and indeed it was not. So let me go ahead and get my stream chat back up and running. Like I said, sorry guys, I cut it off because I thought for some reason I was lagging, but I don't think it was actually me. So haven't dropped any frames so far. Real happy about that. And while this guy is lagging, get all of the things pulled up that I'd like to get pulled up. Gonna put this on dashboard view so that it doesn't take all my bandwidths. Cool. And we'll go ahead and drop this demon guy. And that's okay. But it looks like, once again, look at these infestors doing so much damage. Oh, that is me still. The infestor's going to be able to drop, continuing to do more and more infested marine harass. And honestly, all of these lags and interrupts are probably throwing Ace a little bit off here. And it looks like ShutteR has managed to get 21 worker kills of his own. Going to pull some Lings in here to pull the fire off of his hive for just a little while. Of course, he cannot let this hive go down. He would just be so behind at that point. Still trying to get this third back up. And at the same time, ShutteR has managed to get up a fourth as well. And we will see that in the mineral tab right now. ShutteR is very, very far ahead. Ace continuing to try to produce, but it looks like ShutteR is managing to edge him out ever so slightly. And because of that, because he was able to take that third out, ShutteR, his supply is beginning to skyrocket, and as it snowballs here out of control, I'm really not sure what Ace's army is going to be able to do here. A lot of Roaches, a lot of Hydras. Infestor's going to be backing that up. Roach, Hydra, Infestor. A very strong composition. Hydras do a ton of DPS if you can get... and if you can keep them far enough away with the infestors, then they're very, very strong. So it looks like Ace is going to just leave a few Lings here. Possibly going to try to surround with these. We'll just have to wait and see. Quite a few mutas. Looks like Ace is kind of going for a mass muta strategy. But with this many Hydras, all of those mutas will die almost immediately. Infestors continuing to be a pain. It looks like Ace just never was able to really take care of these infestors. Look at this. All 4 infestors are actually still here on the map. I guess he just never made a corruptor or an overseer or anything. And he's actually looks like, look at this. ShutteR is actually going to use this opportunity, pull the army out of position, and then try to snipe the third. I believe that's what we're going to see here. A lot of banelings coming up for Ace. We can see 26 banelings in production right now. But Ace is just struggling to actually keep his economy up. There's the overseer now. But look at this. His third is actually under attack. Ace is probably going to lose this third. I don't really think there's a way that he can keep that third up. Banelings, every single one of those banelings got fungled, and Ace was actually lost every single one of them. There's the GG from Ace. So guys, sorry about the little bit of lag there, but that one fungal at the end was fantastic. All of those banelings actually got snagged there. I feel like Ace was actually a little bit ahead, but he was not able to keep that lead. So let's take a look at what's going on. Yeah, I should have, like, I'm not using close to my CPU potential right now, or my memory. I've got plenty left over. So why the lag? Let's end that. End now. Let's pull this up, end it. Terminate. Get back to you. Okay, processes. Chrome, continuing to take up all the memory. Cool. Alright, so we are going to see a rematch between these two excellent players. It will be Ace versus ShutteR. Once again, so spawning in the bottom right here, playing as the Black Zerg. Lost that last game after having a little bit of a lead, I'd say, right there in the mid game, and then getting further behind after he lost his third. It is Ace. In the top left, playing as the Pink Zerg. He is Grandmaster, and he is winning these games for a reason. He is incredibly skilled. 90% win ratio. It is ShutteR. And like I said, it is going to be a rematch. Last game going in ShutteR's favor. Kind of towards the mid game there, he was able to get that third down by Ace, and then ever since that happened, Ace was not really able to get back up and running there. Shotfist, what is going on, man? The Purifier, welcome to the stream, welcome to the chat. Ace OP, and ShutteR is 284, 232, and Grandmaster. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. So he is very, very good. But we're just going to be getting into the start of the ZVZ. We'll see if it goes the same way as the last one. It was a very, very macro style play that we saw from ShutteR last game, going hatch first. It kind of looks like he's dealing or looking to do the same thing here. Got quite a lot of bank, and yes, he will be going hatch first. I think Ace will be doing the same thing. Yes, he will. So Ace actually going to be getting the hatch as well. Almost exactly the same time here, both of these. Ace actually getting his out just a smidgen earlier. I'm not sure if he cut anything for that or not, but we do see the extractor coming up for Ace as well, so he's going to go ahead and grab that early gas. And Shockfist, yes, I did get your email. I will see about casting that possibly tonight. But ShutteR, no gas from ShutteR or anything. Just going to be doing that macro thing. And yeah, I'm continuing to lag. It's really a problem. Let me check my video settings really quickly. I really don't want to put these on low. We'll see if that helps anything. I turned the texture quality down just a little bit, put it down to high. Like I said, I don't feel like I should be maxing out my computer, so I don't really know where the lag spikes are coming from, and it's very very strange, very uncharacteristic of my computer. Let's just do a couple more things here. Let's just disable a few more things. That's not what I meant to click here. Sorry, I know I'm going to interrupt the cast just a little bit, but I'm trying to make sure that the viewing experience is the best. But these guys both going to be getting these hatcheries up at about the same time, like I said. But Ace going to be opting to get that earlier gas here. Now he's not really mining anything off of the. Oh, okay, he's already got his speed. For a second there, I was confused. I thought he hadn't actually got speed yet, but he already has. We do see, of course, the gas here coming up for ShutteR. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not this actually gives ShutteR an income advantage or not. He delayed the gas a little bit. Let's take a look here at the units and just kind of see. Okay, so it looks like almost everything is identical, but honestly, Ace has the earlier gas because of, or has the earlier speed because of the earlier gas. But really, the big difference is going to be, will Ace's earlier speed make a difference for him, or would it have just been better to really produce on the economy, and we'll just have to wait and see. You can see here ShutteR, his inject completely on point. I know there's not a whole lot going on right now, but both of these guys, fantastic players. You can see that they're not missing a beat here in their bases. And it's always, always, always nice to see high-level ZVZ. Always interesting, I feel like, such a dynamic matchup here. It's going to be a little bit passive in the beginning. Still confused on this frame, on the lagging. And I don't know why. So maybe, I'm going to cut off my iTunes. I'm just going to cut off everything. And we're going to do StarCraft music. Apparently StarCraft doesn't have any music. But I'm trying to investigate on why I'm lagging. Okay, now that I've cut iTunes off, things seem to have kind of leveled out a little bit, but we'll see here. We'll keep an eye on it. Sorry, I know there's no music. Apparently OBS doesn't have any music. A little bit confusing there, but it'll just be me talking and some game volume. Apparently that's all we get because continuous music. Enable that. Well, I'm trying to get some music up here in game. But like I said, apparently it just does not exist. Honestly, it looks like iTunes, after I close iTunes down, I'm not having any lag problems at all. And it looks like the frames have evened out here. So that's good news. So I guess we'll do something for music in just a little bit. But let me go ahead and get back into this game. Ace is going to be going ahead and taking an earlier third here. We both have layer tech on the way for both of these players. Ace's layer just a little bit earlier. Let's take a look at the army supplies really quickly. It looks like ShutteR does have a little bit more army, but honestly, Ace honestly looks like he's ahead. And no, there's the lag again even after I cut iTunes off. Hopefully that does not continue like I said. But Ace seems to be ahead in the majority of the game here, or in the majority of ways. But look at this. Actually, some Ling's going to get by from ShutteR, and he's just going to focus down as many drones as he can, split these Lings. Some of them going to attack this queen, the rest of them going to attack the drones. Now, Ace has some... Well, where is Ace's banelings? I thought Ace was making some banelings, but no, here come the banelings of ShutteR. And these are going to get in, and he's going to try to take these drones out, but Ace going to be splitting his drones the best he can. These blings, oh, they're still going to do a lot of damage. 4 drones going down there, and it looks like he's just going to take out those 3, so 7 drones went down in total. But where is the army from Ace? It looks like here are the Lings now that are out on the field, so some damage was done. A good use of banelings there. It looks like the baneling nest for Ace just now finishing. I didn't even realize that ShutteR was able to sneak that out just a little bit ahead of time. Ace now going to get a couple of spine crawlers out. But like I said, the third hatchery for Ace may be enough to keep him in this game. He is down by about 10 workers or so and about 5 army supply, which should be a kind of a big deal, but it shouldn't be anything game-ending. And we'll just have to wait and see here. Ace going to try to get a couple of Lings into the... ShutteR says he's got to play a clan war, Ace, and he's got to hurry up. So this game might be expedited. That's the one. We might have to hurry it up, and so it looks like ShutteR is going to go ahead and leave the game here. Sorry about that, guys. A little anticlimactic. New OBS. And we're going to do a new one. I'm going to try to get my... music back on here. Hopefully it won't be so silly this time. Alright. No problem, ShutteR. Yeah, guys, if you don't want ShutteR being awesome, feel free to go over to his stream. I think he's going to play in some Clan Wars, what he said there on the stream, and he's Grandmaster, guys. So definitely make sure you do it. Apparently iTunes was causing that lag because I turned it off and it seemed like it cleaned up. And I don't know why that would be like that, because honestly I wasn't even maxing my CPU or anything. But very, very strange indeed. Shockfist, we will be doing your replay, I think, closer to the end of the night. I want to continue to do a little bit of OBS here. Try to get some more viewers in, because I haven't actually had more than 20 viewers in, like, a week now because of how... Oh my god, this one's full. Who's in here? Is anybody in here? Florencio's in here. Codes, I was trying to get you in! Whoa. Waiting for players, everyone. Anybody know what this is going on with? Okay, it looks like I'm probably going to have to get out of this game anyway. I wonder if Battle.net's continuing to have issues. Alright, here's what we're going to do. Looks like StarCraft is... Oh, shit. Right as it started loading, I cut it off. Gonna restart StarCraft. Florencia, are you guys loading in? I thought that was like a crash, so I actually exited out. Yeah, I'd love to use Windows Media Player, but I use iTunes because of my phone. I just needed to disconnect iTunes from the internet somehow or another. Alright, so let me get Codes in here. Did you get that invite? Oh my god. Codes, you didn't get in here, did you? June got in here. How come that invite didn't go through? Codes, you watched me try to invite you. You were there. You saw everything. Let me just check my stream chat really quickly. Bacon, welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the chat. Hope you are enjoying the casting. Oh, it looks like he's gone. Holocaust, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Northbed, welcome. ODTCH, your name is a little bit hard to say. PVG at the end. I'm just going to call you Odd, if that's alright. Let me know if there's anything else I can call you by. But welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys enjoy the casting and everything. I hope you guys enjoy the games. Looks like we're going to hop right on in here and have a little bit of lag from everyone. I think Blizzard servers are probably having a little bit of problems here. I think that's on my end. Barbecue Pickle saying that his computer actually sucks. Cool, but yeah, it might also be this map. Apparently this map is notorious for frame rate issues. And that may be what we're seeing here. Codes, are you into bed? Why is everyone leaving? Anyhow, I'm trying to keep up with so many things at once here. Let me go ahead and get into the game. So in the top left, playing as the Purple Protoss. He is a Silver League player, but he's one of the regular viewers here on the stream. Of course, always good to see him play. It is June. In the bottom right here, playing as the Pink Zerg. I don't think I've ever cast him before. However, he's got a pretty sweet win rate of 70%, and he is Minisar. So I'm thinking that Minisar is probably more up there in the Platinum Diamond level. And let me just talk to this guy really quickly. In our interface. Cool. But yeah, like I was saying, Minisar, I believe, will be a little bit higher of a level here, so we probably are not going to see the most balanced game coming out of this one, but we'll just have to wait and see here. June, it looks like, going to just be getting out that gateway. I think I've seen June do 4 gates more times than now. Of course, just a strong build if you're still early in your StarCraft career. And let me check my list here again, because we're jumping, viewers are kind of jumping back and forth here. But yeah, like I said, it's a shame that I've had so much internet problems recently because I was on that hot streak, and then I had all of those problems. June going to be going ahead and dropping down at Proxy Pylon, so yeah, I do think that we're actually going to see a 4-gate here coming out from June. Here comes the Cybernetics Core now, just going to be getting his guys on gas, and I think that lag might be on my end once again, but like I said, I'm not sure what it is because my internet looks to be holding strong. But Minisar going to be taking that expansion, spawning pool first, and then following that up with the expansion. Going to be getting a couple of lings, of course. Going to just do a little bit of scouting with those. Probably we'll see the 4-gate. Actually, this Overlord probably going to be seeing everything that he really needs to see here. Cybernetics Core about to finish, and of course we've got the Chrono Boost saved up. He's going to be using that to Chrono Boost out that sweet, sweet Warp Gate and get started out there. And I do believe we're going to probably see the 4-gate coming out of June, but we'll just have to wait and see. He might mix it up and do something different here. Hatchery going to be finishing up here soon for Minisar. No gas or anything yet. Would not be surprised to see him take a 3rd hatchery, but I think he's a little bit hesitant because of the build that he's seeing. And look at that, he's actually going to be snagging this pylon here. And so the proxy pylon that June set out now will no longer be up. I think this Overlord, or one of the Overlords, actually spotted that. So great find by Minisar. That's actually going to slow down this 4-gate quite a lot if June does not get another proxy pylon up and running. But it looks like he is going to grab another assimilator here. And I'm not sure. We'll just have to wait and see if he decides to get up another couple of gateways or not. I'm just honestly not quite sure what June has got under his sleeve for this game here. And try not to get the supply block, of course, always a good thing. And we are going to be seeing the Spine Crawler coming down here from Minisar. So I think Minisar knows that some aggression is on the way, that is probably going to be more all-in than not all-in, if that makes any sense. And he's going to be getting some defense up, going to be getting some Spine Crawlers, but honestly, he has not really worried too much about getting any army. He's still getting quite a lot of drones. And actually, it's going to be a robotics facility, so it's going to be 3-gate robo here for June, and then he may expand on the back end of this. But I'm not sure just how economically viable this is against Azure. But look at this, Minisar actually going to be dropping down more Spine Crawlers. Of course, he is fully expecting a 4-gate right now. I can only assume based on what he's scouted so far. And because it's not actually going to come, or at least not quite in the way that he expected it to, this may, I'm not sure, it depends on when June expands, but it should be pretty strong for June anyways, just because Minisar is using quite a lot of resources on all of those Spine Crawlers, and none of those resources are going to be spent on drones or anything like that. So that actually may go in June's favor at least a little bit here. It looks like June attempting to expand right now, but this one lane, not going to have any of it. There it goes, getting taken out now by those Zealots. I feel like, is that a new death animation? They may actually have put the new death animations in here, but I'm not 100% sure. That slice and dice is pretty awesome, but Minisar going to set up these Spine Crawlers to be a little bit more of a wall here. Going to get a 5th one as well. Got this Evolution Chamber, and he hasn't really started doing anything with that. I think he was originally using that for a wall, but he will be going up. He's just going to keep on 2 base right now. No 3rd base or anything in the works as of yet for Minisar. No gas or anything on his natural. Just going to be getting a couple of gases in his main. Probably going to be seeing a layer as soon as he can afford it. He is working on speed right now. We're seeing a Forge as well coming up from June, so making sure not to forget those upgrades. But once again, he is a little bit supply blocked. Definitely needs to be careful of that, but it does happen. And we're up to 15 viewers, so Odge PVG, welcome back to the stream, man. Hope you're enjoying the casting and everything now that we're actually in game here. And Robo Facility going to be getting out that Observer, so he's going to try to get a little piece of the information of Minisar's base and see exactly what's going on over there. And Minisar's been doing great all game long to get a lot of map vision, but June has this tower over here. And we'll see. I think the Stalker will get taken out if June doesn't pull it back in time. He's going to shoot a couple times, and it looks like Minisar going to go ahead and focus him down now. Now let's see what tech we have in store for Minisar. There is the layer tech now. It's going to be started up. And for June, we've seen this Robo and we've seen this Forge. He's also got this expansion, not actually using it yet. Definitely needs to try to transfer some probes over there as soon as he can. But like I said, he's not actually doing a whole lot yet with this tech. He's got the Robo, but so far all he's made is an Observer. So definitely would love to see a Robo Bay or something. Whatever he decides to make out of there, we'll just have to wait and see what he decides to go for. You can just kind of see this production bar here. June getting a little bit one-track minded, I think, with trying to keep his eye on the army and everything else that's going on. And there is some pro production now Minisar going to be going ahead and grabbing that third layer tech now done. We'll have to see what he decides to do with this layer tech now. He is going to be getting some overseers, going to be getting that +1, and there's a macro hatchery coming down, a second evolution chamber, so he's going to be getting all dim upgrades as soon as he can. And we are going to see Spire, so we're going to see some Spire action, some Muta action coming out from Minisar. And honestly, actually we've got a Zergling run by over here. And it looks like all of these lings are going to be getting into the base, going to be able to pick up a few of the probes. June only has a few lings, or excuse me, June only has a few stalkers and zealots to his name. He is going to use, is he going to attack me with these probes? No, he's just going to kind of run them back and forth. I don't think a ton of damage was done, but he was able to grab a few workers, and really the delayed mining time, June is just kind of sitting here, not mining anything. And honestly, at this point, this is more than worth it with just a few links here to delay all of that mining. And it looks like he's going to keep some of the drones here at the base and send the other ones back up into the main here. But June's going to try to take out all of these links. And he's doing a good job to actually focus fire. He's just got them all target firing these probes. So great job by Minisar to actually take out as many probes there as possible with just a small amount of links. They have to kill 7 probes there, so not so bad at all. Not too shabby. June's just going to be getting in some more stalkers and zealots. There's the robotics bay now, so we are going to have some Colossus on the way. But of course, those aren't going to be very good against the Spire. Oh my god, are we? Apparently we've got an audio looping zealot. And the Justice, guys, the Justice is being done. And so as not to drive you crazy, we're going to take off that for now. We'll put him back, I promise. But guys, as Justice, it was being done to such a degree that I couldn't handle it. But Minisar up now to his third, and he's got it quite saturated. You can see here, 1740 minerals, over 1100. So Minisar is going to be taking quite the income advantage here, and we're going to probably see his supply begin to skyrocket once he gets all of those drones out that he needs and can really start his army production. Now we're going to see 12 mutas on the field, and with really June's got about 10 or 9 stalkers. That's really all he's got against these mutas. He can probably engage that ball 1v1, but when those mutas split and begin taking out different lines of probes, he's going to have quite a hard time. A changeling actually in here had all of the information that he needed, as well as this overseer. Going to be seeing the majority of the decisions that June makes. Colossus now out, but only one of them, and once again, the majority of the army for Minisar is actually going to be in the air. He is going to be making all of these Colossus. Overseer is going to get taken out there by June Stalkers, so good little find there to deny as much information as possible from his opponent. Now these mutas, I just feel like they're going to be able to do so much damage because I'm not sure if June's reaction time is really going to be strong enough to pull his probes and get his Stalkers up there at the same time. We'll just have to see here. Keep in mind, June is a Silver League player, but nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a little bit lower of a level, but look at this. He is going to lose the majority of these probes. No army being pulled yet. Going to be pulling. There he goes, all of the Stalkers, but the probes have really just been gutted, and I believe he's going to lose his Colossus as well. These mutas able to do so much damage, and now, after that, after gutting that supply line, after taking out that Colossus, they're probably going to be satisfied just going home, but no, they're going to continue to do some damage, going to try to take out some of these pylons, and they're continuing to fly around and cause issues. June, I'm just not really sure what he can do here to defend. He just does not have enough production. He does not have enough Stalkers really right now. Looks like Green giving us just a little bit of lag. And with no blink or anything, it's so hard to actually position well against mutas. And now it looks like we've got some lings that have managed to sneak in and got the mineral line here. So now June down, 46 workers killed by Minisar. June's entire economy is in ashes, and June saying he's a little bit upset. Fuck that. And Minisar just giving him the old smiley face. That multi-pronged aggression was just a little bit too much for June to really handle. And now he's just going to go all in and attempt to push out across the map. And this one Zealot, or this one Zergling just pecking away at this Zealot, kind of just nibbling out of shins there. Being more of like a yappy chihuahua than anything else. But June's just going to move forward with this army. Probes going to be pulled from Minisar, drones. Most of those drones will go down to this Colossus, but as the mutas come in and they begin to target fire all of the Stalkers, everything going to go down here for June. And with all of these mutas out here on the field, about 20 mutas or so, he's going to clean that army up, no problem. And now June, with nothing left, going to GG on out of that game. And like I said, that is just what happens when you get such a huge disparity between skill levels. Not really, nothing against June or anything. He was just a little bit outplayed there. And that is just unfortunate. And let me see here. We're once again up to 16 viewers. So let me just make sure that no one new has stepped in. Anybody? Well, it looks like my viewer list is not refreshing. So if anyone is new to the stream, if you're just now checking it out, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the casting. I hope you enjoy the games. You get a little bit of everything out of these games. So we can see a lot of high-level play. Just about 30 minutes ago, we had some Grandmaster versus Masters playing. It was quite awesome to see. Lag problems kind of plagued that game, though, so it was a little bit unfortunate. But I believe this is going to be Masters. Yeah, this is going to be Masters versus Masters, so it should be an awesome game. So in the top left, playing as the lagging green player, it's Barbecue Pickles, guys. So it looks like he's trying to fix his computer problems. Cool. So in the top left, playing as the pink Zerg. We saw him win last game with just some solid macro play into some great Muta harass. It is Minisar. In the bottom right, playing as the orange Protoss. It's going to be, I think, some of the, other than June's game, this is going to be our first higher level Protoss that we've seen tonight. And it looks like green continuing to lag just a little bit and interrupt the introductions here, and that's okay. They'll probably, if it continues, we'll probably just end up booting him on out of there. And not that I like doing that, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. It is the House of L, I believe. Yeah, the House of L. And both of these guys, like I said, are Masters. You can see 73% win ratio here, 71% win ratio there. So it should be some very, very strong play from both of these players. You can see here, working on that harassment as a probe. Of course, the probe, the best harassing worker, in my opinion. We are going to be seeing a Forge Fastest Man just based on the pylon positioning here of House. We'll see if that is what he decides to do. I can only imagine, though. And yes, Brick Squad TV, it is about following the visions, man. Oops, that is not what I meant to click. And Minisar are actually going to be trying to deny this Nexus for as long as possible. However, by pulling down 2 probes, the House of L will be able to stop this from really going down and doing too much problem. Ooh, try to get a proxy hash there. Needs to be very, very careful and make sure that doesn't happen. Oh, he's going to get it. There it goes. Hatchery going to go down. And now he's going to do the old cancel trick, Evo Chamber, and there it is. Minisar actually going to be able to make that Evo Chamber happen. And he can just continue to cancel this and remake it as long as he wants. This is going to force out a gateway here by House of L. So completely clutch here by Minisar. I don't think he was really expecting the House of L was anyways. And then as soon as it went down, he just kind of sat there in defeat with his probes. Now he's going to be pylon blocking at the same time. So it is going to be eye for an eye here. And keep in mind, there's no creep underneath this evolution chamber, so it will die off eventually. But he would love to get some zealots to actually go down there and help it out. This pylon will not have as much luck. Going to have much less health, only about 400 health, of course, on those pylons. So it will go down, and this is going to allow Minisar to expand here. But honestly, I feel like our Protoss player is going to be a little bit more behind that early expansion. So important for Protoss to really get on their feet in terms of the economy where they want to be with all of their timings and everything. So this evolution chamber going to be a pretty brutal block here on the build. Probably going to be throwing House of L off just a little bit. We'll see here if he is managing to keep his composure on this build or not. But Cybernetics Core now on the way. He's just going to continue to tech as opposed to worrying about that Nexus. But you can see he's still floating about 400 minerals or so. And that is all supposed to be for a Nexus. And of course he cannot put it down. Going to go ahead and grab the other assimilator as well as continue to chrono boost here on the probes. This photon cannon going to be able to make pretty short work of this Evo chamber. Minisar might try to abuse the fact that this photon cannon is a little bit occupied and try to run in here. And we're up to let's see here, we're up to 17 viewers. Joe, Pie Up Dar4, welcome to the chat, man. And there it goes, that going down now. And look at this, he's actually going to try to get his broodlings into the mineral line here. And, ooh, just barely not able to get one of those probes. So slightly unfortunate there. Of course, those timing out just at the last second. Now the House of L going to finally be able to expand. This expansion coming extremely late. But, oh my god, I totally missed that. I'm sorry, guys. There was actually a cannon rush at the bottom. So Minisar, that is what all of those minerals were going into. Minisar will lose this hatchery. Fantastic play, honestly, by House of L, because this is actually going to keep Minisar about where House of L needs him to be in order to keep ahead. That's going to be 300 minerals lost for Minisar, as well as a couple of drones there, and Minisar's tech is behind because of putting this third down. So Minisar going to be actually set behind, I believe, about the same amount, if not a little bit more than House of El. Simply because House of El did not really lose a lot of resources. He mainly got them delayed. Of course, he did put about, let's see, 300, about 700, 600 or 700 minerals, of course, is going to be in this cannon rush. So even though they are going to be paying for themselves in some degree there, it's not like that was no expense at all. Brick Squad TV, what's up, man? For some reason, I didn't see your name for a second there. Welcome back to the stream, man. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're enjoying. And it looks like the old tickle cannon going to be trying to just tickle this Overlord right on out of the sky. And so we are going to have to see a little bit of army being produced before I'm going to actually take this third. So that is just kind of the unfortunate circumstance there. Some Overlords coming out, a little bit supply blocks actually, but it looks like he's caught back up with that, as well as getting only one gas so far. We'll see what he decides to do with that. But the tech, let's check the tech here coming out for House of El. So far, it's just chrono boosting probes right now. And of course, the Overlord, it looks like he will eventually go down. And there he goes, going to pop and explode. All of his little giblets kind of flying into the air. So Cybernetics Core about to finish, Warp Cat about to finish. I know he's put quite a few chronos on there, but just keep in mind, both of these guys' builds are probably quite delayed at this point, because we saw 2 blocks at the Naturals before they were actually able to get up their bases, and then a cannon rush that happened at the third by House of El, which is an unorthodox play, but it definitely worked out. And Minisar are going to take the third here in front, as opposed to the one here at the bottom. And keep in mind, I think the minerals are the same, but you only have one gas over here, and it's not a Rich Vespian gas or anything. It is actually taking a hit to your gas income, so that is a little bit of a not so much of a risk, but a sacrifice here by Minisar, and that is just something that he has to take because he really cannot afford to create a lot of lings to take out these cannons right now. He'll just have to get that base later once his economy is where he wants it. Give me just a second, I need a little bit of water. Brick Squad, I'm doing good, man. And let's see here. So we are going to have a macro hatchery coming up. It looks like a couple of queens just continuing to creep on up. Spreading that creep, doing quite a good job to get a lot of creep consumers out. We're going to see this expanding in 2 directions here. And look at this Dark Shrine. So House of El unhappy with just the small amount of damage that he's done. Look at this pylon. Such a clutch placement. I'm not sure if these queens have actually spotted it yet. But when this Dark Shrine finishes, he can warp them in here. He can warp them in here. There's going to be some DT harass coming for sure. And honestly, Minisar, does he... Okay, he didn't actually see these yet. Does he have any detection? I don't even think he's up to... Okay, he is up to layer. But here come the DTs now. Honestly, if you could take these queens out, that would be quite good. And no, he's going to completely skip them. Minisar, I don't think he actually saw that yet. No, he did. Overseer being produced immediately. But there's just not a lot that he's really going to be able to do here. The Dark Templars going immediately for the economy. One of them going over to this base, and now they're going to be in every single base at once. This is going to force either quite a lot of Overlords out, or quite a lot of Spores, excuse me, Overseers or Spores. Continuing to lag here, I think that is green once again. So this Queen barely staying alive. Just one more hit on that Queen would have taken it out. Our friend Barbecue continuing to be a little bit laggy. Now, he could warp in a couple more and take out both of these. Looks like he's going to try to escape. How many workers was he able to kill? 8 workers were killed. We'll take a look at the income tab. Look at just how much we're actually in the lead right now for House of El. Now, keep in mind, he did have to pull some probes, or pull some drones, I believe, to avoid taking any more damage. But House of El doing a great job to actually keep the harass up. We very rarely see Dark Templars in PvZ. Normally, it's more of just timing attacks on 2 bases, Immortal Century all-in, gateway timings, and that kind of a thing, or 3-base macro plays from both of our players. But this one has been very, very interesting with back-and-forth harass. And now Dark Templar harassing. Quite a lot of lag here. I hope that's not me. Once again, I'm not dropping any frames. But the lag is pretty intense. That Dark Templar going to go down. And like I said, I feel like Battle.net is kind of just having some issues here. And look at this. A couple of Zealots warped in. No longer trying to make it happen with DTs. Just some good old-fashioned Zealots going to try to take out that third. House of El doing everything that he can to keep his economy on the back foot, to keep right there with him in terms of economy. And you can actually see here House of El has an advantage right now in the economy. Now, the army supply is in Minisar's favor, but the House of El 60 probes out right now and is going to be quite ahead. And Barbecue, I believe, continuing to be the reason that we're lagging here. So sorry about that, guys. I know that's being echoed on the stream. Super Bosnian Man, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back to the chat. And we are going to be seeing some Blink Stalkers coming out. Robo going to be producing some Immortals. So maybe we'll see a delayed Century Immortal Stalker push with Blink on the way. And of course, here's the third now coming out for House of El. This pylon still kind of the last bastion of hope against that creep. And it looks like we're continuing to see more and more damage being done to this third. I think that House of El would absolutely love to try to take that out. Now, this group of roaches is going to be able to force the cancel on that third. Definitely a small victory there for Minisar. Did not get the third. He did not get the minerals for the third. However, he will be able to do some damage. Some force field's going to be trapping quite a few roaches. Quite a lot of force fields, but got a lot of damage done. They're going to be able to trap quite a few of those roaches right off the bat. Of course, this Immortal doing all of the damage. Even got a couple of Dark Templars hidden away in there, so that it's actually going to force Minisar to attack with an Overseer. He really cannot afford to attack with that one because those Dark Templars just have so much damage on them. But yeah, I do feel like Shepard saying not enough roaches to be worth the energy. I can agree with that. There is really quite a few force fields that were used there. We'll just have to see. Minisar going to be working on Spire Tech. We saw him in this last game to quite some success here, so we will be seeing some mutas on the way, I believe. But keep in mind, with this third up, Minisar is going to be catching up and getting a little bit ahead of House of El. We're probably going to see that starting to be reflected here. Yeah, you can actually see just beginning to edge out House of El here in the income gas. Almost exactly the same, but that's to be expected. House of El, though, going to be doing even more Dark Templar harass. This Overseer just not quite in the right position to make that call, actually. And continuing to get some drones, going to go for the Queen here. Don't think he's going to get it. No, the Roach is going to get in here in time. But look at this, actually no upgrades yet for Minisar, and we do have +1 done and +2 about to finish here. So upgrade's going to be pretty good for House of El. Definitely going to be getting him a little bit ahead here in the game. And like I said, interestingly enough, the economy, it continues to be ahead but suffering. You can see here 18 workers have been killed by that Dark Templar harass, and we should see, yeah, House of El managing to keep right there equal in terms of income. And honestly, that's something that you just do not really want as a Zerg player against Protoss, because Protoss tech, in terms of dollar for dollar, is normally a little bit more efficient in cost effectiveness. Otherwise, guys, English. The lag is literally lagging my ability to speak. But like I was saying, the Zerg units that you can afford that can actually pretty much are all countered by the Protoss units that can be afforded on 2 base. Of course, Immortals, Century Stalkers. And you really need 3 base income so that you can get up Infestors, you can get up Broodlords, Corruptors, all of that. You really can't afford to do. But this lag is pretty terrible. We might need to kick him out of here. I don't want to, but it looks like it's just going to have to happen. Sorry, barbecue. Man. So let me just get this guy out. Oh, his lag is getting real serious. And I can only assume how bad it is for these guys actually trying to play here. So who hasn't voted? Somebody hasn't voted. I don't think the actual players voted. I don't know if they know how to. So that is just a little bit unfortunate. But House of El has decided that it is time to move out. Let's take a look here at the army supply. 64 to 86, but keep in mind the tech. He's got 2 armor, or excuse me, 2 attack here for the House of El versus, I believe, the 0 attack. Now, mutas are going to be on the field, and the mutas are going to be quite strong. However, with the amount of Stalkers that we see, especially with the +2 damage that they have, I'm pretty sure that we're going to see this battle go in favor of House of El. Those force fields actually cutting all of the roaches off. I'm not sure if that was exactly what he was trying to do here. And that will actually only delay the inevitable push that will come. I think he would have liked to cut some of those in half. But yeah, kit crane, please. Just so that we can get this lag all figured out. But it looks like House of El going to decide to go back home here. And got a couple of Zealots in, though. And I believe he was actually able to kill more workers. Yes, he was. Up to 28 workers now. And just trying to get that all worked out. But it looks like House of El just going to pull back, wait for some more reinforcements, and then go from there. Oh my god, this guy. This lag. There we go. And we should, in theory... Yeah, smooth. Excellent. So guys, sorry about all the lag. Someone in-game was having some horrible lag issues. And I apologize about that. But we do now have House of L managing to pick up this third, and that is going to become quite the asset for him. Now this proxy pylon finally going to be taken out, but you can see here the mineral rate and the gas rate probably going to start skyrocketing just a little bit. Yes, there it is, 2,100 now on that 3 base income. And it looks like Minisar finally going to be able to take out that proxy pylon, finally going to be able to take out the cannons here and take this fourth. And he is so desperately needed. Like I said, this is kind of a gimped base, and without having the true third or fourth here, it's been in some trouble. However, a mutant harass just came in, and I missed it because I was watching that engagement. Only able to kill 2 workers go. It looks like the majority of them were transferred over here. Yes, they were. So good job by House of L to keep that, to keep all of those workers alive. We've got an Archon on the low ground, going to have some cannons coming down here, as well as positioning some Stalkers. And look at that Blink Stalker, going to be taking out those mutas immediately and push them right on back out, so no losses were taken there. So good job to keep up on the Blink there. And we'll see if Minisar is going to really be able to make these mutas work. Now he's dedicated quite a lot of income to them, but Greater Spire just finished, and Corruptors are on the way, so we are going to see some Broodlords coming out of Minisar. And of course, Broodlords are extremely strong. We're honestly about to hit late game here, but Minisar are going to be moving into this third. If this army does not come down for House of L soon, he may indeed lose it, and he really cannot afford to lose it right now. So here comes the army, but they are going to focus down this Nexus, and honestly, I think they're going to get it. Lynx have completely surrounded it. Roach is doing quite a lot of damage, and look at this. They're just going to actually burrow right underneath it. Is there I think it looks like there is some form of detection, because these guys are shooting here somewhere or another. There's actually an observer, I can only assume here. Some Archons being made out of those Dark Templars, but without having this third and with the fourth coming down for Minisar, honestly, if there's no counterattack, then House of L is going to be in an extremely poor position. Yes, there's the observer now. Now, I feel like he's been ahead pretty much all game, but now, after that engagement, I'm just not sure. I feel like he really needs to counterattack. He's at 3-3, and I don't know what our upgrades are looking like. We've gotten 0 and 0-1, so Minisar does not have the best upgrades. The attack does so much damage. You can see 65 damage per shot from there, 47 damage to biological, and of course, I believe every single unit is biological on the Zerg side there. So House of L is in a pretty good spot if he wants to counterattack, but I feel like he needs to do it sooner rather than later. If he can catch these before the Broodlord count gets extremely high, then I feel like there's quite a good shot at him really being able to take this game. But as soon as Minisar really gets out that crucial composition of Broodlords, Infestors, Roach, Hydra, all of that, and Lings, it's going to be a very, very hard army to stop here. And now House of L deciding to move out. It looks like he's going to try to do a little bit of damage here. Going to be putting some Proxy Pylons all over the map so that he can actually warp in from wherever he decides to attack. And continuing to put down Proxy Pylons. Loving the Proxy Pylon placement, actually. It's always good to see a lot of proxies going down. It's just very, very strong to have those warp ins available whenever you want. Now, he does have this third back up and running. Definitely needs to get those probes off of the long distance mining and to the actual base there. And we are going to be seeing, like I said, Zerglings, Roaches, Corruptors, Broodlords, and some Mutas still on the field. I believe both of these players very, very close to max, but we've got quite a good composition. We've got a large amount of Archons, and Archons, of course, if you can get that Archon Toilet, will kill Broodlords extremely quickly. But now this army going to come behind here, cutting off any kind of reinforcements in House of L, attempting to actually posture up here and get in a good position. He was able to take out that fourth, so the majority of the damage that he really needed was done. But now with the Broodlords being able to siege from the high ground, here comes the Blink Stalkers trying to do a little bit of damage, but I almost feel like that was a bit of an overextension. Going to definitely lose some Stalkers for that, and House of L needs to try to get up this ramp, and maybe with some Force Fields. Yes, he will. Going to Force Field some of those units off here, and Minisar going to be forced to back up those Immortals, of course. Going to be cleaning up the army extremely quickly. Archon's doing quite a lot of damage. You can see here 5 kills, 12 kills, and these Colossus, of course, going to be able to kill the Broodlings very, very quickly. However, House of L, because he's lost the majority of that income from that third base, having trouble really being able to keep up with the amount of army that he really needs to counter this with the reinforcements. You can see that he's actually struggling right now for gas. Got a little bit more minerals in the bank, but the Blink Stalkers are what he needs, as well as a Stargate, and that's what we're seeing actually build right now. Mothership going to be absolutely crucial as the Broodlord count gets higher and higher. Only 5 on the field right now, though, and honestly, Minisar does not have the largest army here. A lot of the army is back in production, but one of those Archons getting taken out. We've got a few sentries here, but I think most of the energy on them has been depleted, but we still have a little bit of sentry energy. And honestly, we just need to find that perfect engagement. Minisar's Broodlord's actually a little bit exposed, and there's the blink forward. Going to be able to pick off 1, 2, and I believe 3 Broodlords almost immediately. So all of the DPS here, all for Minisar's army. There's the second blink forward. Minisar just let them get a little bit too far ahead there, and all of a sudden the entire Broodlord army was taken out. And these Broodlords are also pretty exposed. Corruptor's going to be able to take out the Colossus here, but with so many Stalkers on the field, I just don't know if Minisar really has the composition that he needs. And now with no fourth or anything, he's losing all of his army. You can see the supplies just plummeting for Minisar right now. The House of El up to 183 as he continues to reinforce. That third being back and up and running is such a big deal right now for Minisar. And because the fourth, excuse me, was taken out by the House of El, it is really stopping his ability to produce. All he's really able to afford on out is roaches, and he cannot get them in a very good position with all of the Immortals on the field. I think this is the entire army of Minisar. It's just 68, and a lot of that is actually in production now. Warp Prism coming out as well to help with a little bit of the micro here. This base going to be taken out no problem, and like I said, it was just those Broodlords getting a little bit too far ahead. He just did not have quite the ground buffer that he needed to really get that up. Even going to be force-filling these probes, or these drones, excuse me, from getting up the ramp and then coming back in with an Archon. That Archon will get taken out. But like I said, the House of El is just in such a strong position. Some force fills right now could force all of these roaches on top of the units, trying to do some, but it looks like he missed the majority of them. However, it does not even matter. There's so much army right now here. There's so much power in this army. He's at 3-2 upgrades versus 1-0, and that's 1 armor, 0 attack. And honestly, I think those upgrades were probably one of the biggest reasons here. Even coming in with some High Templars in the main, Minisar are going to have to GG out. Awesome game. House of El managing to keep their harass up all game long, and then come back after that engagement and take out those Broodlords with the Blink Stalkers. The hatch steel was new. And then, of course, the cannon rush back to the third, I think, is the only thing that really kept him in the game, because his build would have been so much more delayed over the Zerg players. Pylon block is no big deal. Honestly, Zerg have to deal with that more often than they don't, I feel like. But it was that cannon rush that House of El was able to pull out at the bottom, at the third base, that last game, that really was the start to him getting ahead, I feel like. And then, of course, that Dark Templar rush was awesome. But let me get right on into this second or third or fifth or however many games we've actually got to play now, and I'm just so happy that I've actually been able to stream. So it looks like we will be sticking with the 8:30 to 10:30 time slot here, because I haven't had any internet issues with it. I'll just keep my fingers crossed, of course. But in the top left, playing as the Blue Zerg, he is one of the regulars here on the stream. His name is Concerned Sheep in Twitch. If you see him, say hello. Of course, in-game, he is a Diamond League player, and his name is ShutteR. In the bottom right here, playing as the Orange Protoss, we saw him be able to win that last game with some awesome harass all game long, and then getting those Broodlords with the Blink Stalkers. And it looks like Blue lagging for just a second there. Of course, he is also Masters League. He's got that 73.5% win ratio right now. It is House of El. And we'll just see here exactly what's going to happen. Will the early game be quite as crazy? Will we see all of those blocks and everything? Or will we just see a little bit more standard macro play? It does look like House of El going to be going immediately for that Forge Fast expansion. ShutteR doing a good job not to overreact and try to hit that probe only once or twice, with just a couple of the drones there on the mineral line. And House of El, of course, going to try to deny this for as long as he can. And here comes a couple of drones, of course, sending down 2 drones to make sure that for some reason this probe is not able to survive. But a little bit of missed micro there, and I believe he is going to be able to get this hatchery down. Yes, he will, and he was able to kill the probe. So ShutteR, good job to shut that harass down. No harass actually on either side. Nexus first coming out here from House of El, so pretty ballsy play, honestly, because ShutteR actually went spawning pool first, I believe. He could just make 8 lings right now and potentially do an enormous amount of damage. This happens to me more times than I like to admit. We are going to have the gateway coming out. We see 4 lings, and I'd love to actually see that, make him making all of the lings early. We'll see whether or not he's going to be able to get any damage done. But House of El normally plays very, very strong. And I'm not sure if he'll be taken by surprise or anything like that. are going to be seeing the cannon coming down as soon as he can afford it. And guys, if you are Protoss, take note, this is a very strong Forge Fast Expand. It gives all of your big buildings here to create the wall, of course, to protect against banelings and everything. And Photon Cannon here in the back to protect against the lings that can actually run by here. And then as soon as this finishes, we're going to see the Cybernetic score. But it looks like ShutteR not opting to make a large amount of lings. Like I said, those, if he had made like 8 or so lings and then shot them right across the map, I feel like they would be getting through, you know, right now. And it would have been very, very difficult for House of L to really pull off. I would have honestly loved to see it just because I wanted to see how well House of L would have been able to pull it off in order to defend against that. But we do see these lings going to be getting tons and tons of map vision right now for ShutteR, as well as this Overlord. We're going to be spotting most of the things that are happening. We are going to be seeing, it looks like, 2 gases being taken so far right now for House of L. We'll see what he decides to do with that gas. With that tech, of course, Cybernetic score going to be the first major thing here that he gets up. And now we're going to see Warp Gate begin, and will it be a Mortal Century? Will it be early third? Will it be Stargate? We can see a little bit of anything. Not taking an early gas, or not taking an early third gas, I should say. So I don't feel like we're going to see Starport or Stargate or anything like that. Having some Chrono Boost going down on the Cybernetic score almost makes me think that we might see... Oh, actually, we are going to see Stargate. So I guess you do that on just 2 gases. I will eat my hat for that one. So we're going to see some Stargate opener here, and then going to be harassing. So I can... I personally do not like the Stargate opening, mainly because I'm just not very good at the micro of the Phoenix and then keeping up with all of that and macroing at the same time because I'm not very good. I'm not Masters League yet or anything like that. But what the idea here behind the Stargate is that you get it up, you get some Phoenix out for harassment, force a lot of defense at home for ShutteR or for your Zerg opponent, and then you get out an early third and you're able to defend it very well. You'll have all of the map control and all the map vision with the Phoenix. We'll see if that is how House of L wants to use it. There's our first Phoenix going to be coming out now. Of course, going to be chrono boosting that as soon as he can. And let me just take a look here. We're going to have just a second of lull until these Phoenixes are finished. Let me just make sure no one new has come to the chat. And it looks like we've just got the regular guys in here right now. So guys, everybody, I hope you're enjoying the casting. Now that we're actually finally having casting happening for the first time in a few days, actually, I'm not running into any disconnects or anything, so I am super happy about that. And we will continue for the next hour or so. So, hells yeah, man, gonna actually be able to cast. But you can see here, we've got tons and tons of map vision right now for ShutteR. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Overlords out on the field. Now he doesn't know about the Phoenixes yet. And I will say that the only bad thing about having all of that delicious map vision is that these Phoenix are going to be able to take it all away. If he goes Overlord a-hunting, it could potentially supply block ShutteR. It's going to force ShutteR to make more Overlords. He's going to lose all of the map vision. It looks like we are going to see 4 Phoenixes before he decides to move out here. And High Flyer saying, there's nothing wrong with the regular guys. Of course there's nothing wrong. You guys are the heart and soul of this channel. And I was just going to make sure that there was no one new that had stepped in that I can say hello to. Actually, I think there is somebody that just came in. So hello, 19th viewer. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. I hope you enjoy the casting. But we are about to see this Phoenix Harass moving in for the first time. And I do believe it was scouted. We are going to be seeing Layer Tech go up, but I'm not sure if we actually have any Spores. Okay, Spore Car is going to be going down. We see 2 now, but this Queen definitely will be taken out. ShutteR going to be losing that Queen as well as this Overlord. And it looks like he's going to just move right into the next base. Continue to try to take out as many queens as he can. Of course, the faster that he can get all these queens taken out. Firko, what's going on, man? The more damage he can do here before these spine crawlers or spore crawlers finish. This spore crawler in a pretty good position. I think it will be able to deny this queen from going down. Oh no, the queen got a little bit too far out. He needed to be careful, and he lost it with a little bit of positioning. I'm pretty sure he can actually avoid that spore crawler, and he will. So actually losing every single one of those queens. And ShutteR going to be hurting quite bad on the production now because of all of those queens no longer being able to inject. So it looks like his move is just going to be to counterattack here with as many roaches as he can muster out. ShutteR also going to be losing Overlords. Like I said, all of these Overlords giving him map vision are wonderful, but once the Phoenixes come out, he's going to be actually supply blocked pretty hard. We see 4 in production, as well as all of these roaches soaring out across the field. We actually have a Void Ray out. Kind of an interesting play, though. Normally we don't see the Void Ray behind it. I guess we can sometimes. But the House of Bell has plenty of Stalkers and sentries here. He's going to do some force fielding, try to keep these units alive, try to keep these buildings alive. Maybe able to snipe the forge here. I'm not actually 100% sure. We'll keep an eye on the health. I think he will. This Void Ray really not doing the damage. He was trying to chrono boost out that upgrade, but it just will not finish. And I believe these roaches have decided that the end is near because of this Void Ray, and they're just going to go on home. I think he tried to pick up that hurt one, but that is just fine. And that one zealot whapping away there, and there goes the hurt roach. That one going to go down as well to the Void Ray. More roaches on the field though, so it looks like ShutteR taking a line out of Stefano's book and saying, well, when they go air, I'm just going to go mass roach to counter. But I don't believe that ShutteR's macro is quite on par with Stefano, so we'll see if he's going to be able to keep up here with this roach harass. He's going to try to move into the third and deny the third. Definitely a good play here, but will we have enough army for House of El to actually hold this off is the real question. The Phoenix and the Void Ray are going to go down to the third here and try to do whatever kind of damage they can. Actually, there's a fourth that they could snipe as well. Definitely needs to be careful not to reveal that if he can, but looks like the Roach is going to just go right into the main, going to snipe that forge once again. This warp gate probably going to go down as well. Yes, it will. So these roaches, like I said, can do quite a lot of damage, but we do have a couple of immortals finishing now. This immortal already getting 3 kills, as well as this army of stalkers. Ooh, gonna get about half of those roaches. Every single one of these roaches will die. They're just moving back and forth. Unfortunate ShutteR not even able to turn around and try to snipe any sentries or anything like that. That I don't want to call game or anything early, but that is a huge blow to ShutteR's army. And you can actually see here that is going to even up the army for the most part. ShutteR's still a little bit ahead, but the tech right now is just so much in L's favor. He's got the third up and running. He's continuing to deny the production here. You can see the minerals for ShutteR still a little bit of ahead, and that's because, of course, the worker supply is about even, and he's been on 3 bases, but at this point, House of El should be able to actually get ahead here and income as soon as those guys really start to mine. And because all of the queens have been taken out, the larvae just aren't there. The overlords have been taken out left and right. Another overlord possibly going to get taken out. No, it looks like House of El is going to fly right on by there. More roaches being produced. And like I said, though, at this point, ShutteR's just really stuck on this roach tech. He can't afford anything else. He doesn't have the tech for anything else. He's working on pathogen glands. Going to try to get that those infestors out and do what he can with that. But this Void Ray, 6 kills already, going to take out that Overlord as well, and going to move right into the third here. However, House of El prepared, knows that this third is probably going to be taken out. And guys, I'm actually going to bet here. No, I'm not. I don't have time. But it looks like these roaches not really going to be able to do the damage they need. Phoenix going to pick up a couple of them. They will be taken out here, but these roaches are going to come back and try to attack these cannons, it looks like. And ShutteR, I'm not really sure if he's really paying attention. I think he's working. Yeah, he's actually going to be working on getting some Ling run-bys at the same time. So these roaches all going to go home, and at the same time, the Lings. Now, the Zealots here are in position to hold, but there's no force fields or sentries or anything like that. Looks like, yeah, we are going to have some sentries warp in, and that should stop the Zealot run-by. So great job by House of El to actually get those Zealots in position so that those did not get in. I feel like if these Lings had gotten into the base here, honestly, House of El probably would have been in a pretty poor situation because he would have lost so many probes. There just was not an army actually in position to defend them. But great job to get where he needed to. We're going to see a Warp Prism. We're going to see some Colossus production. 1 Colossus already done, plus 2 weapons on the way, as well as extended thermal lance. Now, we do have a 4th out for ShutteR, and he is going to begin producing off of that 4th, and that might be enough to keep ShutteR in this game. I feel like we'll begin to balance things out as this game continues if the House of El is not able to really make any big plays here. But his competition is getting very, very scary. He's going to take a 4th of his own. And like I said, the tech for House of El is just in such a strong position right now. And we'll just kind of see this Void Ray continuing to be a pestering problem for ShutteR. ShutteR just getting his Hive Tech now, as well as working on +2 and Metabolic Boost. I didn't ever have the speed. Interesting. And we're going to continue to see, it looks like, a lot of Ling play here to Ling Roach. A strong composition for the mid-game, but it kind of gets weak in the late game, especially against Colossus and everything else. Colossus, of course, doing 17 damage twice. That's 34 damage, if I'm doing my math right. And, of course, Lings only have 35 health with 1 armor, so they almost get one-shotted by Colossus, and with 2, you'll see just how quickly this army will go down, but no, he will actually pull it back here. A couple of Phoenixes continue to do damage, and this Void Ray continuing to just go around and hunt Overlords down. Delicious water. So this Void Ray is going to just work on this hatchery. He definitely needs to try to attack that queen or do something, as this Void Ray will go down if he does not do anything about that. I think he is going to just lose that Void Ray, so Interesting to see him not try to micro that at all, but we are going to see Ling's speed now finish. Going to be moving up here to this third, and honestly, there's no army really in position to defend it now. There's a couple of cannons, but I think he's going to really be able to get in here and do some damage. thehouseofel probably going to have to pull his probes, and just a little bit of pole position micro here on the Ling's going to be able to take out quite a few of these probes, and there they go. Probes going down left and right. Now, he will lose the majority of these Lings. The army now coming in for ShutteR. And you can see the Lings and the supplies for ShutteR plummeting, and down to 154 over 154, and those Overlords getting sniped have really just been a huge pain for him. Even a Warp Prism coming in, trying to do some damage, but he has killed 16 workers, so that is a small victory for him. You can see the income, though, still not actually in too poor of a position right now for thehouseofel, just because his working out is still relatively high. He's at 66 still, and he's on 4 bases, and now it looks like he is ready to move out. He is almost maxed, and tossing all of those Lings is quite behind in supply and quite behind in the ability to produce. The Overlords actually being blocked here because of all of the Phoenix and Void Ray harass of this force going to go down almost immediately to the thehouseofel's army, and I just don't think that ShutteR really has the composition or the tech to hold this army off. He's going to come storming out across the map now. I'm going to take away the UI so we can just see how much damage is being done here. Even back it up, because I think that is just awesome. And he's going to actually force field off here and take this third out. You can just see how quickly the health is going to go down on this third. And every single one of these drones also being taken out. ShutteR just attempting to get up some units. He's got Infestors, he's got Roaches, and he's got some Corruptors. But like I said, there's just such good units here. They're at 2-2 right now, and that's just such a strong competition against what ShutteR currently has. The Infestors actually being taken out, a couple of them going down almost immediately. And now every single one of those Infestors, oh no, they're caught out of position. They all have full energy, and not a single one actually managed to get a fungal out. GG from ShutteR. The loss of those Infestors was just too much, and immediately he just tapped out of that game. So thehouseofel winning 2 games against Zerg now, very, very strong. And it looks like Minisar are going to try to hop back into the fray here. Oof. But great game. Great game from all of these players. And we are up to 20 viewers here in the chat. So finally got to 20 viewers now that my internet has managed to fix itself. Or now that I've managed to get it fixed, I should say, or done, I don't know. I haven't done anything. But Elth Rock, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you back. And Expect War, what's up, man? And who else is in here? Anybody else that's new? I don't see any other new faces. But yeah, welcome guys. If you're new to the cast, if you're new to the stream, I hope you're enjoying it. And of course, feel free to let me know any of your feedback or anything like that. Always appreciate it. But let me get into this game. So we will be seeing once again another PVZ. But so far, all of the PVZ games that we've seen, June 24. He is new. He's been showing up for the last couple of days. But everybody, of course, welcome him into the stream. But yeah, let me get into this game. Let me get a sip of water before I do anything else. Oh, so delicious on the vocal cords. In the top left, playing as the Pink Zerg. He's going to try to redeem himself in this game after losing earlier. And he is 86 and 36 right now, 70% win rate. He is a Masters player named Minisar. In the bottom right, playing as the Orange Protoss. He's won the last 2 games rather convincingly against Zerg. And I'm sure he wants to continue the stomping. He is also a Masters League player, 74% win rate right now in the OBS mode, and he is the thehouseofel. Sometimes I guys call him House or just thehouseofel. And it looks like he's going to go ahead, pick up that Forge first here. No Nexus first or anything. I think that's just because Minisar already has this drone in here. And keep in mind, last time we saw Minisar actually drop the early hatchery and then cancel it and go for the Evo chamber. We'll see if he decides to do something like that again. thehouseofel may want to actually pull 2 probes. Yes, he is, to try to make sure that that does not happen, that he does not have that interruption on his play, because I feel like that really screwed up his build pretty hard. But I don't think we're going to see that. Looks like Minisar deciding not to actually take any of that early aggression there with the hatchery or anything, and actually not from either of these players. So thehouseofel giving him a little bit of a courtesy pass there on that Nexus, or excuse me, on that hatchery, so he will not be denying that either. So these guys will be getting their Nexus and hatcheries up at almost exactly the same time. Going to be seeing the Gateway following that up, and then, of course, another pylon and a cannon. But no aggression or anything from either of these players really yet. We do have about 4 lanes in production. Those probably going to go to the watchtowers and take some of the map control and the map vision. Now, House of L is going down to the 30, and actually, he will win this fight with this drone. He has much more health on it. Ooh, yes, he's going to be able to deny, but 2 lanes here now. Will he? What is he going to do? He's got the links here. He really wants to try to kill that drone. He will not be able to. The drone will survive and turn itself into a beautiful hatchery for the Swarm. So the Lings, the savior of its drone brethren there, going to be able to stop that probe in its tracks. Another probe going out. I wonder if we're going to see, let's see where this guy's going. I think we're actually going to see another cannon rush. Not a cannon rush, but cannon harass from House of L on this third. We saw him do it last game against Minisar. It was very strong, and I'm not sure if it's been scouted yet. He's got a pretty strong route there to take. Cybernetics Core, excuse me, Nexus just now finishing up. Cybernetics Core about halfway done. This probe going to be the gatekeeper here against all things Zerg right now. And look at this. Is this going to? I'm not sure if this is going to be a proxy pylon, or if it's going to be just a straight up cannon rush. It looks like it's actually going to be a pylon. So we may be seeing an early 2-base push here, or maybe like a 7-gate all-in or something like that. We'll just have to wait and see, but this probe definitely doing something sneaky. He's continuing to select it. You can see there he's got it on a command group, just waiting for the minerals to do something with it. Also going to be chronoing out the warp gate technology here from House of L. And here comes a Zealot as well to try to take out a couple of these lanes, probably grab a watchtower or something. And did he scout that drone or that probe? I'm not sure. Guys, if you're new to the stream, I'm notorious for calling workers by the wrong name. It's just I'm just bad at that. But I don't think he scouted it. I think he looked for proxy pylons, didn't actually see it. So Minisar not having the luckiest time with that scout. House of L continuing to be able to do some damage here. It looks like this Zergling will be forced to run home. It did not go to save its brother there. And ooh, let's see here. Let's observe. He will see that pylon, just barely going to see that pylon with his Overlord. So great scouting there by Minisar. Just barely going to be catching that, the glimpse of his little Overlord eye. And that will slow down. Yeah, it looks like it was going to be an all-in gateway push. It's going to be 5. This is actually something that I love to do against Zerg. It's pretty brutal. This is going to be 6 gateways total, including the one that's already completed. And it'll finish up right as Cybernetics Core is finishing up. Actually, he's going to go on up to 7. And this will be very, very strong, but it looks like Minisar are actually going to be able... Ooh, another pylon coming down here. I love this pylon placement by the House of L, and he's just going to have them all over, even right within the sight of Minisar. So Minisar sees it. He sees all these pylons. This one's going to get canceled. 5lings on the way. I believe he's actually using the pylons in base to kind of just distract against the pylons that he already had up. However, Minisar shutting the majority of these pylons down. Now, these gateways are finishing. They're going to be turning into warp gates. This pylon going to be the new home of the warp-ins here. And we are still going to see House of L going forward with this. And this is definitely how you need to make this push happen. You just need to do practice pylons everywhere. And now we see the Zealots coming in. Now, quite a few links have been forced trying to clean these pylons up. But now there's just not really enough. You can see drones and Overlords still being produced here by the House of L. But actually, ooh, a kind of nasty supply block going to be coming down. Oh, I'm sorry. That supply block's actually on Minisar's side. But now we've got Sentries and Zealots coming in. And we do have, like I said, Overlords coming up as well. And Roach is going to be produced here, as well as Spine Crawler is going to be produced. And here comes the Proxy Pylon in even more aggressive position. Minisar really cannot afford to engage this army quite yet. He needs these Spine Crawlers, he needs Queens, but a couple of Sentries going to be doing a pretty good job to deny. Look at the pathing on these Zealots, or these Zerglings actually getting messed up here. And the Zealots doing so much damage. Able to kill every single one of those drone... oh my gosh, like I said, every single one of those Zerglings will go down to these Zealots. Queens attempting to do what they can, but more and more warp-ins are happening. And like I said, a lot of the larva actually went into drones after he was able to clean up the majority of those proxy pylons. I think he thought he was safe, but he was not. And now all of this army is in the base. You can see here, 27 to 28. A lot of that is in production. I think he's trying to stockpile this army somewhere. Roach is coming out now, going to be able to snipe quite a few of the army here, but so many workers, 11 workers were already killed, as well as the Queens. Now the Roaches, more and more are being produced, but I'm not sure if he can really keep up with the production of House of L. And look at this, even more Zealots coming in, Stalkers as well. 1 Sentry still remains, and Overlords being taken out left and right as well. Minisar going to be losing quite a few of his roaches here. All of these roaches getting very, very low on health. The reinforcements can't even come in at good angles to attack, and I'm just not really sure what he can do here. Minisar losing more and more of his army. He's got roaches, drones, and queens all trying to attack. He's cleaning them up slowly, but just more and more reinforcements are coming in, and House of El going to continue to warp in here. More and more zealots are coming out on the field. Now these roaches are beginning to actually get up to a somewhat solid of a number, but I'm just not sure if it's going to be enough. They're trying to kite these zealots. You can see here the zealot health getting lower and lower. Continuing to really just warp in zealots here, not doing a lot with stalkers or anything. I guess he just doesn't really have the gas or the production, but I'm not sure. It looks like Minisar may barely be able to hold, but at this point, really, House of El is all in. I'm surprised at just how many zealots he's making, as opposed to making more stalkers. Stalkers really would be the answer here. These roaches are just kiting all day long, but now more stalkers are coming in. I guess he didn't really have the gas for it, and now he had just enough gas to really make a big rush, or a big, excuse me, I completely losing my train of thought, a big swell of them, but roaches continuing to come out. Now he's got quite a few roaches on the field, so Minisar may just barely be able to hold, but now with more and more zealots being warped in, this is just so back and forth, such an interesting amount of units here. We're just seeing this kind of small battle. A couple of overlords going to actually be picked off there, and look at that massive supply block, 47 over 30 now, so we won't see any more roaches coming out from Minisar. This is all that he's got left until he decides to make more overlords. You can see here the health on these roaches getting lower and lower in House of El. I think he's going to be able to just barely edge him out as he continues to warp in. More and more zealots coming out on the field. He can use these as a meat shield for his stalker, and of course if the zealots are able to get right on top of the roaches, they do quite a lot of damage. Transfuse going down on the roaches. He needs to be careful to make sure that all of these stalkers are doing so much damage. Oh, the roach worm was actually destroyed. I missed that. But man, House of El, just a non-stop aggression here with this. And like I said, Minisar, going to be getting a little bit of force fields, but not really getting the money force fields there. Those sentries now have no more energy, but these roaches are just going down. Roachworm kind of is going to be produced here, as well as the Zergling is going to be made, but he's losing every single one of these roaches, and House of El is just managing to edge him out ever so slightly in this battle. 8 supply to 20 now, and Warpin's going to continue behind this. Roachworm probably will not finish. No, it will not. And I think that once this Roachworm goes down, there's not going to be much left that Minisar can really do here. And he's got not really much of an economy to speak of. 480 over 1240. There's the GG. And the timing, it was so back and forth. For a second there, it looked like Minisar was going to be able to hold, but House of El was just barely able to keep up. W Greats, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. And I think we're going to do a new OBS here. New OBS. Cool. So we'll do a new OBS game. But yeah, W Greats, man. I've been having the worst time with my internet recently, and I moved the stream back again to 8:30 to 10:30 because I'm not sure if it had to do with like prime time, causing it. I mean, it was just constant upstream interrupts where a couple of seconds, no internet, stream drops completely. Have not had a single dropped frame since I've started tonight. So I'm not. Yeah, I think it honestly is too. I was trying. I don't like running into the Day 9 daily because I feel like a lot is happening with that. And at the little bit earlier time is somewhat convenient for me, but this works too. But let me get let's see, ShutteR. I know High Flyer wanted to play, and let me open this to public. June going to bed. Good night, man. Glad you stuck around. And Dracosis, what's your in-game name again? And Box, I don't see you. Where you at, Box? Where you at, Box? Draco. It says you're busy. I can't invite you. Draco, why are you busy? Ah, there you go. I got you. And Box, got him. Got him. Got him. Alright, guys, so once Box and Draco join, We've got Legion in here. Of course, he's an old school stream player. I don't know if it's been around on the chat a lot recently. Oof, my neck. It's popping. Ah, so lovely. But Box, what is up, man? Glad you got in. Glad I think everybody got in that they wanted to play it. Now we've got about 30 minutes or so left of game time. Mac Truck 6666, welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Legion is Brick Squad TV. I forget that every single time. Sorry about that, Brick Squad. And let's see. So Draco, you're in. Everybody's in. So all is well. All things are good things. We've actually got 21 viewers right now, so welcome viewer number 21. Let me see if I can catch your name here. Yeah, Grace, just keep me informed on that, man. I'll let you know how I'm doing. I've got a technician coming out to check on my internet next Friday, and hopefully I'll have absolutely no problems once my upstream power gets fixed up. And other than that, I'm just going to be streaming from 8:30 to 10:30 because it looks like I'm not running into any problems, and that will be fine. So we'll just do 8:30 to 10:30 as the regular stream time. And actually, we're up to 22 viewers. So, who has dropped in here? I don't see a name. I don't see a new name. King Drufus. I feel like you might have been here before, but if not, welcome, man. And if you're new to the stream, if you're new to the chat, welcome. I hope you enjoy. What I'm doing here is just casting some live 1v1 OBS games. Oops, I did not mean to hit AutoCam. I hit the Blizzard UI. But yeah, in the top left, if actually, yeah, okay. Cool. Sorry, I had to get something worked out here. In the top left, spawning as the teal Zerg player. We saw him last time playing a couple of games against House of L, but he was barely edged out, I believe, both times. It is a Minisar. Now, keep in mind, he's a Masters League player. Got a 70% win ratio right now. And he is a very, very strong player. In the bottom right, playing as the gray Protoss player. He is, of course, one of the regulars here on the stream. He is also Masters, 6-6 right now, and I believe those stats have been reset recently. His name is Box. And L, are you watching the stream now? Watching the stream now? Just curious. Let me know wherever you may be doing that. And we will get into this game. So it looks like the live cast. So the House of L says he is going to watch, and that is awesome. But it looks like Box is going to be going for the 1K expand that we've been seeing him, that I've seen him do a couple of times now, and continuing to do a little bit of damage with that probe there. And this probe is going to be as annoying as possible, but it looks like Minisar going to be able to actually take him out by pulling a couple of drones, and now the expansion will come down. And Box, like I said, going to be doing the 1K expand here, so or either that or he's going to be doing something completely unknown to me, but for the most part, I have seen him open like this. It's a little uncharacteristic of the current PBT meta, or PBZ metagame, I should say, where normally, I'd say probably about 70 to 80% of people are Forge Fast expanding still, at least on US, but I've heard that the 1K Fast expand is being very, very popular in Korea, and what you can do is get out these early Zealots, send them straight over, and because the Zerg players are so used to just going straight for 3 hatch before gas, and they do not have a lot of actual attacking units. These Zealots a lot of times can do a lot of damage, to Queens, and continue to force out Lings and that kind of a thing. But we'll just see here, Box actually going to be chrono boosting out a second Zealot, working on a Stalker immediately behind that, and Warp Gate. Now he does have both of his gases, so we'll just see exactly what he's trying to do here. Now it looks like 4 Lings are going to get into the base, and Box probably going to be taking some damage here. Will he be able to keep any of these drones alive? We'll keep the health bars up here. of all of these probes that are under attack. And honestly, I don't really know. He's gonna have a stalker that's gonna be coming out soon. Gonna have to attack though. 4 lings are not able to take out a large amount of probes, but they were able to take out. Let's just take a look here at the numbers. 5 workers killed, but at the same time, I believe a couple of workers. No workers were actually killed by that zealot. The queen almost went down, but Box was not able to get any drones of his own. And now with the lings that are about to finish here, he should try to just go right for the queen. If he gets surrounded though, it's all over, and there it goes. He will indeed get surrounded. You can see Minisar using a little bit of micro to keep all of those lings alive. So good job by Minisar to do a little bit of damage with those lings and to hold off the aggression that came out from Box. And now Box is gonna he's continuing to chrono boost out this cybernetic score, and he's working on a Twilight Council. So honestly, it looks like we're gonna just be seeing one base Blink Stalker play from Box is the only thing that I can really see coming out from the current build that he's got. And we've scooted on up to 23 viewers here in the stream. So let me see if I can get my list update so I can say hello to you guys. But at the same time, Minisar going to be positioning and up with these lings. He's got about 10 lings on the field right now. Now, Gateway, Warp Gate just not finished, but there's only one Stalker. If this gets surrounded, he's going to have to pull it immediately. There's the pull. And now, all of a sudden, though, there's just nothing here. He's got one Zealot that is about to finish, but it's going to be immediately destroyed. All of these probes are going to actually be very, very weak against all of these Zerglings. He is trying to pull these probes as much as he can. However, he was able to, I'd say that was a pretty strong hold, but more and more workers have been killed. 12 workers killed, and with only one base, you can just see the income is beginning to just astronomically grow out of control here for Minisar. 860 over 400, 940, almost reaching 1,000 over Box's meager income. And we did see the blink. I just don't think, I think Box was kind of trying something new. He was trying to see if this one gate or one base Blink Stalker play could really work. But yeah, it looks like Box just complete. I'm sure he's just very, very frustrated with himself right now, and he's going to go ahead and just step out. And like I said, I think he was just trying something new, and it didn't work out for him. Sometimes that happens. Ah, the House of L. Welcome, man. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're enjoying the casting and everything. Let's see. Does this stream happen like a lot? Yes, every single night, Monday through Friday. I've been playing around with a set schedule. I've been doing 7 to 9, but I've actually switched it back to 8:30 to 10:30 because the internet gods decreed that 7 to 9 was an unholy time, and damned my internet connection and would not let me. I could not get a solid upstream. I will disconnect frequently, and I believe it's just because of the load around me. Also, I think I have some slight internet problems at home. I'm getting those worked out in a week. But yeah, man, every single day, like I said, 8:30 to 10:30, Monday through Friday. Definitely check it out if you like the casting and everything, man. Let me know how you like it. And I would absolutely appreciate it if you followed and give me any kind of feedback. You're a very good player, man. It was a pleasure casting you, and I hope to cast some more of your games tonight. Also, let's see here. Let's see if I can't get my viewer list to refresh. Cool, yeah, House of L in here. And weekends, I'm trying to find a set schedule. I don't think I'm going to be able to stream this Saturday. I'm going to be busy pretty much all day. But Sunday, I will be streaming something like probably 3 to 5 or 2 to 4, something like that. And then back to your regularly scheduled programming Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 10:30 every single day. I'm trying to keep as consistent as possible. But let me go and introduce our players. In the bottom right, playing as the Teal Zerg player. We've seen him play quite a few games tonight, and he is a Masters level player, 70% win rate. His name is Minisar. In the top left, playing as the Red Zerg, he is a regular as well, of course, in the stream. His name is Brick Squad TV. He's got a pretty awesome stream himself, if you want to check him out. And in-game, of course, in StarCraft, his name is Legion. Diamond level, of course, I think he's scratching the surface of Masters. You can see his win ratio also very, very good. And we are going to see a hatch first from him. And this is, of course, another ZVZ. ZVZ, a very razor-thin matchup where every single build decision that you make matters. A lot of times you'll see a lot of build order loss in ZVZ, especially at the high level, just because everything that you do in ZVZ is honestly punishable. So like you go expansion first, the other guy just builds the early hatch and gets some lings into your base and wins. Of course, at the higher level, it's a little bit more, I'd say, defendable, just because you've got a lot more micro at your disposal. Minisar looks like is going to be able to get that hatch down. A little bit of delaying there by the drone of Legion, but no big deal. I don't even think that the minerals were really all that far behind. He will catch the spawning pool timing as well as the gas timing. And spawning pool not even done of Legion, so Legion will have the earlier base. You can see here about to finish, whereas the hatchery for Minisar only about halfway done here. And Mack Truck, I'd like to see some Terrans myself, man. I don't think we've seen a single Terran all night long. It's just been Zerg and Protoss. It's just one of those nights. It looks like Legion going to immediately be getting out the early Spore Crawler or Spine Crawler because he saw the early timing on the spawning pool. He saw the hatchery timing. He knows that early aggression is possible. And he's going to try to get out that Spine Crawler to defend against whatever aggression may come his way. And this hatchery already done now. And keep in mind, it's not just about the worker advantage that you get with an early hatchery. It's also about the larva advantage. Larva, of course, is just as much of a resource in ZVZ as any other, as workers are in any other matchup. We are going to have some links here. Going to be able to hold this off and immediately dropping the Baneling Nest. This, I believe, is an earlier gas that Legion was able to get here. And now Baneling Nest coming out from both of these players. Baneling Nest a little bit ahead for Legion, but Baneling Nest incredibly essential in ZVZ, both for defense and offense. Banelings are kind of an interesting unit in ZVZ. I feel like they're almost kind of like a Cold War unit where you have to get Banelings because if the other guy, you have to assume the other guy gets Banelings and then get Banelings yourself, because if you don't get Banelings, you lose because all of your lings will just die. So it's like I said, it's like a Cold War where you have to just assume the other guy got them, and the only defense for Banelings is Banelings, and in the early game anyways. So it just makes for very interesting and nail-biting scenarios, honestly. So the Baneling Nest is done, and it looks like Minisar is all geared up for a very aggressive push. We see 14 to 8 in Army. Of course, that's about double the amount of lings. Now, we do have one Baneling out for Legion. Oh, he needs to be careful. Minisar, if he gets hit here by this Baneling on a large group of lings here, he will suffer quite a large amount of losses. But it looks like no losses there. Minisar able to really keep up with that micro, and he does have 4 Banelings of his own. Now, Legion definitely going to want to get a couple of lings here and a couple of more Banelings, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Now, he does have the Overlord in position, so he knows exactly how many lings are coming out, but this Baneling's so close to dying. Ooh, going to lose about 5 lings to 2 Banelings, which would be a pretty good trade. And there it goes. And the Legion, ooh, another 5 lings to 1 Baneling there. So back and forth a little bit. Minisar, of course, Banelings are interesting because 2 Banelings will kill, ooh, get out of there. 2 Banelings will kill a single Baneling, and that's what you just saw there. And 1 Baneling will kill any number of lings that are able to get around it. But now look at this. No lings are actually out on the field for Legion, and all of a sudden Legion in a poor position here. He's going to have to pull some drones to attack. He needs to keep this queen alive at all costs, and it looks like he just barely will. That drone, or that ling really wanted to, but oh my gosh, all of a sudden more lings going to be streaming in for Legion, and Minisar just cannot get up, or excuse me, streaming in for Minisar, and Legion just cannot get up the amount of lings that he needs. All of a sudden he's behind in the ling count, and that is just not going to work out. GG. I played bad. He was not able to get out enough lings, and at the last second he was taken out as the reinforcements came in from Minisar. So great job to read that play just right. And Minisar saying, or Legion saying, GG, give me a real race. High Flyer going to be taking up the first Terran mantle of the night. Beat that. Minisar, of course. High Flyer saying, YOLO. Of course, you indeed only live once. Box telling Minisar to drop the bronze. We all know you're not bronze. And this is the last, you should play and cast like a boss. I mean, I will, but I just, I suck. I suck if I play. Minisar will be going to bed. Going to bed after this game, but let me go ahead and get into, actually, let me take a sip of water. Oh, I'm about to run out of water, and that is going to be a sad moment when that happens. In the bottom right, spawning as the first Terran player of the night. Of course, he was the first mod here on the channel, because he is one of the OGs here, him and Ace, of course. It is High Flyer, and now keep in mind, High Flyer is a Platinum League player, 100% win rate right now in OBS, kind of sweet to see that. But he is going to be in for quite a game here against his opponent, who, of course, playing as the Teal Zerg, he was able to win that last game with some great Zergling aggression. He's a Masters level player. His name is Minisar. And we'll see really what High Flyer is going to be able to do. High Flyer, I will say, he loves his one rack fast expands, and then he loves his Hellion Harass, so we'll probably see something along those lines this game here. Max Truck saying, I'm silver, anyone else as low as me? Man, you are going to be... Shock Fist, I was going to say. Shock Fist is probably close. Might be a bit better than you, but should be a good game. In June, of course. And our Squaggle is also silver. So Shockfist also silver. So we've actually got like 4 silver players. I feel like we need to have a yeah, Legion. We need to have I didn't make the clan. They made the clan, but now I own it for some reason or another. But I feel like we need to have Oh, I'm so bad at typing. I'm getting so distracted. Sorry about that, guys. But I think we need to have a lobby tournament where we do our Squaggle, Genevieve, Shockfist, and who is the other guy? And Mactruck, and we just do a small like a semifinals and then finals tournament with all of you guys. Greats can get in. We can just do it. I think it would be tons of fun. Have a lobby tournament and just cast it just because. For all of the good times, all of the lulls. But High Flyer, like I said, is going to do the one racks fast expand here, getting that bunker here on the low ground. And if you've ever wondered why the Terran have started dropping their bunkers here in this position as opposed to right here where you can kind of defend a little bit better, this actually is a great defense tool because it defends your ramp. And this means that you can just lift up this supply depot, stop any lings from running by, and if for some reason lings are trying to engage over here, you can pull your Marines out, attack the lings, and then run right back into the bunker. So it's a very good spot to position up for defense. And Minisar will be taking his no gas yet. Actually, gonna have his second here. His natural is done, and mining. Will he take a third? Is the question. High Flyer actually has an SCV over there to watch for that third coming down. But Minisar, by not taking any gas, I would think that maybe he's looking to expand again. Of course, his money is still pretty low. He's really just working on drones, overlords, and queens right now. So he's just in full-on macro mode. And High Flyer are going to be getting up another couple of barracks. So no fast Hellions or anything like that. We're actually going to be seeing High Flyer going straight for just some good old-fashioned bio play. And that lane wanted to get a little piece of the action there, but he was taken out almost immediately. And let me see, we're up to 22 viewers now. So let me just make sure that nobody new has joined in. And is my viewer list updated? Hard to say. I don't see any new names, but guys, if you're new to the stream, if you're just now checking it out, I hope you're enjoying the cast. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Let me know how you like it. Feel free to give me feedback. I always appreciate it, and thank you so much for checking it out. But we do see the third will be going down here for Minisar, and I believe it's 3 hash before gas, so this is kind of your classic Protoss build, but this time against the Terran player here of High Flyer. And High Flyer going to be going for, actually going to be getting some double E-base here, nice play, but going to be just going for that strong bio play. Probably going to be seeing another couple of barracks dropping down behind this as well once this factory goes out. Now, honestly, I think he's going to be all geared up for just the standard 10-minute push that you make on a one racks fast expand as a Terran player. Look at this. We're just seeing more and more drones here coming out from Minisar. So Minisar not worrying about a thing right now. 38 workers right now. He's just been droning right on up, as well as getting out that third. So we'll see whether or not High Flyer is really going to be able to punish the kind of greedy play by Minisar right now. He is going to be getting an early third of his own, managing to sneak an early command center in there. And I think that is going to be in place of the other couple of barracks that he could have made. So maybe we're going to see some macro coming out from a High Flyer. But honestly, I'm kind of curious to know whether or not he could have actually just taken his expansion earlier or not after scouting that third. I really don't know the timings and what the Zerg player can really do in terms of damage here. But Minisar is going to lose this Overlord. Yeah, it's not super greedy. ShutteR pointing out that it's not super greedy. It's just I guess it would have been I guess against what he scouted, that he felt a little bit safer because he didn't have to face any kind of Hellion harass or anything like that. Definitely a macro-oriented play, though. Not going to be doing any kind of early aggression or anything for just a little while. Layer Tech about to finish, as well as Metabolic Boost, so that speed and +1 all going to be finishing, as well as getting some Spines here at the third. I like this play because, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of an investment, but you can keep this base alive for much longer against any kind of small Marine force or something like that. Minisar doing a great job to keep the timing down on that third, and High Flyer kind of with the most interesting the most interesting wall off I've seen. Kind of a little question mark going on here, and it looks like High Flyer getting some frame problems there, dropping a few frames. It's not on my end, I know. I don't think anybody's been lagging on games, so hopefully that will balance itself out. But High Flyer now just gearing up. He's got the factory done. Got some tanks being produced here, as well as this orbital command. Looks like he's going to go ahead and float that on over to the third. Of course, this lane will be stopping that. Looks like he's going to take a couple of lings here, or a couple of Marines here, and go check on that lane. Or possibly, I'm not sure. We'll just see what he decides to do. And let me see here. Guys, I might actually have to... Let's see, Mac Truck, if you keep doing this, I think someone like IGN will pick you up. Mac Truck, if that actually happens, I would be ecstatic. I would be so happy. But I know that IGN and IPL have recently been having some trouble, and they had like some problems with their casting and everything. They were talking about shutting IPL down or something like that. I don't really know too much about what happened, but I would absolutely love to be picked up by somebody like that. I think that'd be fantastic. But until that happens, I'm just gonna keep doing me and keep casting every night. And guys, like I said, continue to give me feedback. If you like the cast, feel free to tell your friends and tell your mom, tell your father. I don't care who you tell. But if you want to get people in here watching and continuing to let me know how I'm doing, I always super duper appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. The House of L, I have I put the live stream on Reddit before. I haven't done any VODs or anything like that, and it did okay, like 13 upvotes or something. But I might go onto Reddit and ask to see if people just want to stop by and give me some feedback. I would always appreciate that. And Draco actually has the solution. I just need to go to Gone Wild with his VOD, and I will be covered in the ladies. And ShutteR came from Reddit. Yeah, you did come from Reddit. That was a little bit while back there. But we are going to have the barracks now coming down. We're moving up to 6 barracks as well as a second factory. So High Flyer just going to be continuing to macro up. And honestly, we've seen quite the passive game so far. High Flyer and Minisar just seem content to really work on their macro. We can see here the worker supply 67 for a High Flyer. Actually interesting to see that High Flyer is Minisar. Yeah, I was gonna say Minisar's not actually making anything. Minisar hasn't actually done anything. I didn't notice that because I've actually was talking about the casting, but Minisar is gone. Yeah, now he's saying sorry phone. All of the minerals have not been spent, and now there we go. He's back. He's producing once again. Honestly, though, he was probably gone for a solid, like, I don't know, what, like a minute and a half, 2 to 3 minutes, and that is going to be pretty devastating. Honestly, I mean, even though the Zerg economy it kind of plays well into not having a lot or having a lot of minerals and then dumping them all at once, he's going to be very, very behind going into this mid game here. But keep in mind, he's a Masters League player, so maybe this handicap will just bring him right in line with High Flyer. We'll just see. He's going to drop some of them hatcheries, going to get some of that macro up and running once again. So just a little bit unfortunate. Going to work on his Hive Tech. And High Flyer now looks like he's gearing up to make that push. Now, he definitely delayed this push. Got a little bit of tech. He's at 2-2 right now, so it's going to be a pretty strong push here with the Marines. And let's see, how many medevacs do we have? Tanks and everything. So we do have quite a few tanks, quite a few medevacs. Honestly, this is going to be a pretty strong push here coming out from a High Flyer. And look at this, actually stemming and splitting his Marines quite well. He's going to be scanning to try to actually take out some of those creep tumors. And Minisar only really has Queens here as the forerunner to this army. So High Flyer going to just kind of be leapfrogging forward here. Leap forwarding for frogward here with these tanks. And he's going to try and do whatever damage that he can with them, continuing to kind of just siege up the mains here. But honestly, he could just move in. I don't think he realizes just how far behind Minisar actually was put into place. Now he's going to try to kite these banelings. Some of those banelings will go down. These Marines need to be careful to split. If he was able to get some tank shots on the banelings, pretty good splits, but those banelings were able to do quite a lot of damage. And honestly, High Flyer did not really get the tank shots that he needed on there. But let's just take a look at the army supply. Oh, definitely, yeah, he definitely does have quite an advantage. And honestly, I think this is all of the army for Minisar. I didn't realize that Minisar's army was so that was it. That was really all he had left. And all of a sudden, that's it. High Flyer with these tanks might be able to just move right in now and do quite a lot of damage. He's got a lot of tanks. He's got reinforcements here at the ramp. Definitely needs to try to get those in position as soon as he can. But now he's moving into this base. Now keep in mind, Minisar was AFK for such a long time, and now he just doesn't have anything in production. And Legion a little bit upset. Brick Squad, sorry man, but Roach Warren gonna go down. Evolution Chamber gonna go down. Now more and more banelings coming in. All of those guys are going to be blown up there, but the tank's actually going to be taking the majority of the rest of those banelings, and more reinforcements coming in for High Flyer. High Flyer just wrecking the majority of this base. The Evo Chambers have gone down. The Roach Warren has gone down. All we see really are Infestors and Zerglings. That's all he can really afford to make now. Just a little Ling Zergling. And that, oh my god, that Infestor almost went down immediately, and there's the scan there continuing to try to take them out. However, he was not able to grab it. However, High Flyer continuing to produce, continuing to bring more and more reinforcements and tanks and Marines in. I really don't know what Minisar can do. It's just extremely unfortunate that he had to take that phone call. And Minisar gonna go ahead and GG on out. And that is going to be that. That's actually going to be right around the end of the night here for me. So it's 10.